abusua na de lumba egusu a o trending wawu na nso so ye boni din e wate asefo asasi so Odo Bronii versus ye mame akoso ya se wa court drama no ekoso na Counsellor Lutterodt ese owo message bi e de ma Odo Bronii wose won hye na wanya no me e wode wo ye ni mu se Ghana fo no bi e ye no wodiom a che se o je no home na no nyeme na meka counselor e na eka on hye na wanya no me na abusua wose mu a munim story ni mu ye mu a mu blame ye mame akoso ya se wa se adenti no odi nkan e wo court no obenya bre na wakyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm na obia ate ase de ntia ye mame akoso ya se wa e de asɛm no e court na abusua baby odru ya no why confused I want ne ho ase a Oma afrefo ebe mu eye lawyers na omu ejina mu ede ama Odo Bronii no omu na ejina mu ede ama Abusuapanin anase sei na bia enchiremu no aba menya daje ewrem no wate ase free na kire waje no wi abomoden so we share amomia bisa etumi aka aha eye AJ gossips meaning ede AJ eti we no eye introduction.
I mean ase but I don't know if people understand why Akosua Sewa for Su Mrs. went to court. The media, I don't think the media, to most of you, understand why she went to court. If you are different, I know your educational level and your presentation. Please, do you have an idea why Akosua Fosu Sewa Mrs. went to court? Okay, so I think that is where the problem is. So the education is not going on. Akosua Sewa Fosu went to court because she's been deprived of being recognized as the wife of Daddy Lumba, not Okuna. The reason for going to seek for redress is for the courts to clear that she is the wife of Daddy Lumba and still married to Daddy Lumba. That was the only reason why she went to court. It's not about Okuna. I get my point here. So, ena the ekasa se si ade ena Odo Bronii di nkunim ena akosa no. If she is able to be clarified in court that she is Mrs. Akosua Sewa Fosu, the story ends there. I get in a picture. That's all we're looking forward for. And people should learn that, you know, Sebo, let's learn this education. If you marry in Ghana under traditional law, and you travel to any of the states, Germany, UK, US, and you are going to file your document and you are asked, are you married or single? And you say you are married. Once you are there, you are filing with Rosie and you say you are married. They don't care whether it was traditional marriage, it was engagement, it was what. Once they settle the two of you under the civil law, you are married. Because in America, in UK, in Germany, they don't have traditional marriage. So our dear be able to no no civil marriage. It's also a law. It is common ye careful. And Anthrophobia tiasia say, Obima Odo Bronii enya say. Only that the lumba wale ye. Na ye sheshano, ni ye shishe AI, nyamamano. No mo be jitu mu say ye wale na. No me na beda nsu enya sasa. They tosubio. Or the ayire no koye den. Mesreno or the ayire no koye den. Or the so den so adi den abayo afina wesisu. Undi 50. O we afe. O hunam ye kokko. We ye tintin say Rosie kakra. O problem ni den. What is your problem? Now you be pushing on my gay abenya no me say to you afa Angel FM to say mon can't hear say Emrano would definitely take care of the children. Don't keep that in your head. But Emrano has nothing to do with her. See what to say? See, Kuma would act a biawu. I'm an iri that the biaba Kuma Yamaho. What's your answer? Yes, King Brenya. See what and from so pana ye ever the children. Yen na fanya disua. Woni obati na won penny bioma. Mesra kona ko jan. They tosu bio. Papa ye di no komo no se bo wonim say say. Oko wari we no oba no wa Germany be tu ni na si mu say Bigamy. Wan fi no. And I want to hon. So the testament any will ni nyama watcho nyina na yesi wayi we fi no. Mommy and Kai say Emrano wo ho kwan say a reverse it. It is our caretaker no buy it. Ever share now, if the man was still married before taking you to court to marry again, you become useless, and if you don't take care, they hold you for bigamy or they declare the marriage null and void. As someone done, CC by CC. There are too many examples.
Also, so for the caretaker, I think that's quite harsh with
But you were doing what my team and Crawford, I shall perform. Your friend said, they are caregivers, they are caretakers. So, what are you talking about? Who was she?
You don't have children with your caregivers.
And this woman has no child with a man. Mind you, if you are a caregiver and you go and have a child with the man you are taking care of, you have breached the consent, the protocol of the job that we are employed for. So as for Odo Bronii's case, Odo Bronii was introduced to Akosua Sewa by Lumba. If she's lying or they are lying, then I'm lying. As Abaya Wenya Boami Kakran Kakra, and she prepared a room for Akosua Sewa to lie in, not as a wife. So when we are talking about that issue, the Kumewood Atta and this particular one, the Kumewood Atta has somebody taking care of her, went to marry her, ignoring the wife, and the wife is back, and the wife will win. The same like Odo Bronii. Odo Bronii has come to take care of Lumba, not as a sick man. I keep asking myself, if we keep referring to Lumba Yali and Lumba Yali, and I was 6 room, then I will come. What's the artificial insemination? Me kase wie na tia breaker na wo ye mahio me kase wie na tia breaker mama wie na ma obi ankofa me ma endile fe obi atie o ma wie a wo be fa na se mechanic for me say oba so be hwe Lumba as a caretaker or who on sister from being a caretaker, but she becomes a baby mama. Say Lumba ko any one there, now it is established say Akosua Sewa is still the wife of Lumba. Then she has committed a crime unless she says she didn't know. Now her fate is in the dead body. The only person that can deliver Odo Bronii is Lumba, who is dead, and not those who are following her. So there's no victory. Odo Bronii winning and Lumba Yiri Lusu. She went to court for clarification. Abusuapanin says, I am not a wife. May the court look at this document and check if by the civil laws, I am no more a wife. If they say she's not a wife, she will pack her things and go somewhere and leave the rest for Odo Bronii, who claims she's a wife. But if they say she's a wife, then the action must be taken, where the children will be taken care of and Odo Bronii will be set aside. She has to be evacuated from the house immediately.
Intro ni say na say ye remwan kasa counselor ese or setting record straight obi o ho a asem ne sha say that the Lumba wu ye on say story na say onim de ekọ no wo ka bi onya adaje ono ne nsem a waka ene de ekọ so ni nyina no onya adaje e give account from a brother the Lumba ewu ye enfonso aye maame akoso asewa eye ya ono counselor de bia oka a chese waka amaye maame akoso Sewa ati se waye mistake no abusua ene e wadudwam na ene e nsem bi ono na ka abusua panyini enso so dimrika e de aye adwuma no meze gama odiane yeni wasem obia ebedibi nyadaje na enya bre na je bre na hwade
Akosua Sewa fosu a ofi Germany eye Lumba legally registered wife till the death of Lumba. They were still married in all quarters and by law as the only gazetted missus of the late Daddy Lumba. She made a big mistake of her life, which I will not stop saying it. The big mistake of her life was that she kept up to accept the fact that the baby mama and the house help of Daddy Lumba should join her to bring peace, to sit as the two widows. She was not cleared and advised clearly that the widow happens to be the wife of the deceased man. And if your husband is married to you legally, then it is an irregular problem to allow another woman to join you, mourn your husband in the state of widowhood rights. Akosua Sewa Fosu Mrs. made this mistake and missed the mark. Why? Because she gave respect and dignity, honor to the Abusuapanin of Daddy Lumba, who told us that the only wife that he knows happens to be Akosua Sewa. So Akosua Sewa has a reverence for this man. And out of that, she bowed to that arrangement, and the 1 week was done. After the 1 week was done, then some of us started our conversation that the woman is just a baby mama. She has no right to the estate of Daddy Lumba. The children will have right to the estate of Daddy Lumba. And a lot of issues started. Then I came to advise Odo Bronii, because Daddy Lumba's soul was standing at the entrance of his house, that she should allow things to be done the right way and never claim she is a wife because she's a baby mama. 1 minute beyond from us. So when this issue came up with Odo Bronii being a baby mama, then the story started that I made a comment again that if Akosua Sewa would not be careful and will allow that an obituary, which is a legal document that can be used for an LA, they allow Odo Bronii to be on the obituary as a wife, then her status as Mrs. Fosu is nullified. It means that she has thrown away her Mrs. and must prove a divorce certificate. But if there's nothing like that, then adding Akosua Sewa and Odo Bronii on the obituary, then what they are telling the German government is that there is an act of bigamy, but they don't want to address it. When I started my North 7 conversation, that is when I hear Akosua Sewa's team realize that counselor is speaking sense. Odo Bronii's team realize that counselor is going to cause trouble. Why have they agreed to do the 1 week together? And I'm setting up a lot of confusion among them not to agree again. I was speaking for the future. Remember, when we lost the legend, that Saturday, I made a lot of statements. Go and watch it on Pizza. Afromax Plus. Exactly. So when we lost the legend Daddy Lumba, Chaskoyo for the late, I made a lot of conversations, I said a lot of things, including the fact that if we don't set up well, his funeral will be a lot of chaos. I said it. And my chaotic situation about the funeral was that these things were going to happen. But I advised Odo Bronii and told her that you are a baby mama and remain as such. And you are not the only baby mama. So I remember when the Abusuapanin was living, Abusuapanin made a statement and recorded, it was recorded that Lumba has the number of children that Abusuapanin mentioned, was it 11 or 12? And had one wife, who is Akosua Sewa Fosu. She said it again. And for that matter, she will be the widow at the program and left Accra to the village. He was interviewed again. They asked him that. So, per all the arrangement, that was where the confusion started. So, the confusion of Akosua Sewa being in court today didn't start with Akosua Sewa. It started with the Abusuapanin, who knows what the truth is. However, turn the truth to be something else, I wouldn't know why he was doing that in the name of bringing peace. But I don't know why you can cause confusion in the name of bringing peace. That Lumba was not a polygamous man. Onya warudu for Bema. Now who say who pass through the engine to say or wali obi. Wali that. So that is what brought the misunderstanding. And Akosua Sewa, who was in full respect and honor to the Abusuapanin, realized that Abusuapanin doesn't give respect to her like the way he says it. So the best thing is, once they don't recognize her as the wife, no family member can talk. She wants to go to court. My narration will be boring, but follow it. So Akosua Sewa realized that let's seek for a redress, because the Odo Bronii, who is not a Fosu, mind you, DLF is owned by Daddy Lumba. I don't know any other person who is a partner. When Daddy Lumba kicked the bucket A letterhead was released from DLFM announcing the death of DL. Also mistakenly, Sewa Amir went on radio to confirm the death of the late Charles Kojo Fosu, Daddy Lumba. That was also an error in those times. So when the letterhead of DLFM, which is the radio station that Daddy Lumba owned, brought the notice to the public that the owner and their friend, Daddy Lumba, is no more, the letter was signed by a lawyer. Now, and that was when I asked that the lawyer signing puts the company's name under and mention his name. Then I drew the attention of the host then of a show that I don't believe in this circulation. Why? Because if it is not the right of DLFM to announce the death of their boss, it is supposed to be the Abusuapanin and the family that he belongs to. So that was an error. Number two, the lawyer with his chambers doesn't have the locus to sign a letter from DLFM announcing the death of Daddy Lumba. I said this too, and many didn't get it. Yeah, I was there, Tilly and the rest were there. He was hosting. They said that's not the most important thing. The man must be buried. Their rush is the burial, but my interest was what will happen after the burial. Then we were there after the Saturday when I said what I said. They withdrew that letter and wrote the same thing on behalf of the Fosu family on Baba Jamal and Associates. The law firm now came to do the official announcement of the demise of the late Daddy Lumba. Serious. So a law firm now came to announce that on behalf of the Fosu family. And we didn't know who the Fosu family was, because by the legal rules of engagement, the immediate family of a deceased person is a wife and children. So the Fosu family where Odo Bronii was not a Fosu. Number two, when they were writing this letter, the Abusuapanin was not the one announcing the death. Number three, when they were writing this letter, they were not writing on behalf of Akosua Sewa Fosu and the children. So the Fosu family that the Baba Jama and Associate were representing was vague. To me, I said it, that I don't know which of the Fosu family Baba Jama and the team were representing. I said it. Those times I said it. But nobody listening to me. All of a sudden we're there. Then Baba Jama and Associate continue writing. When there's a communique, they come and write. Now we heard they are the lawyers for the family of Daddy Lumba. Whilst the Abusuapanin told us that he doesn't know any lawyer. Keep this in your head. Abusuapanin Ejawusu is not a Fosu. He's not. He's not from the Fosu family. He is from Daddy Lumba's mother's side. So the law firm, Baba Jama and Associates, that wrote all those letters I have to us, representing the Fosu family. Which of the family was the law firm representing? Well, let us just say, when the late Charles Kojo Fosu was alive, they were the chambers that were representing him when it comes to legal issues with his companies and everything. When a man engages you to become his lawyer, whilst you are being paid for the service, you are not there for the family. You are there for him. So I have my lawyer, personal lawyer, Counsellor Lutterodt. I have my lawyer, personal lawyer that deals with my cases. It's not my family lawyer. So my company, the work consult, the family consult, all the consults I have, the lawyer has right over them. But my wife, children, and my house, the lawyer doesn't have right over them. So he is not the lawyer for the Lutterodt family. The legal arrangement from the beginning, for me where I sit, was thwarted and confused. However, I came back to say that I stand to be corrected. Why? Because I have not seen a document that maybe was handed over to the law firm from Daddy Lumba's personal cabinet, sealed, that you represent my family in the time of my demise. I've not seen it. They didn't tell us. But it is hearsay that it was alleged that this law firm were very instrumental in the purchasing of the radio station for Daddy Lumba. Hence, the family relationship with Daddy Lumba was there. It's alleged. Whilst we were going on, then Akosua Sewa realized what was happening. The letter came from Mama Jama and Associates on behalf of the Fosu family. That till today, I don't know which Fosu family the law firm is representing. I'm surprised that the court has accepted them. They were sued. So I think that the court has accepted them because they were sued. They were sued as Priscilla something. That's Odo Bronii. Abusuapanin was sued as Ejawusu, and Transition was sued. So the Fosu family have not been sued. For one conversation you, because one said, and come on ya ko dani bibi fufuro yedi and ankrofo enimu de nyina dani bibi tie we pa. So tama law firm no chotron katama no om se om ye Fosu family besi enani mi ni Fosu family om representing, because Odo Bronii enye Fosu. As far as the document we have now is showing, Odo Bronii nye Fosu. Abusuapanin Ejawosu enye Fosu. Dia oye Fosu no ye Daddy Lumba. It is a mrane ka immediate family ye Daddy Lumba ne yire ene ne ma immediate family. Na omo no ye Fosu family immediate. And sana Lumba enyanom nso abepeso. But the yedi nkomo a ye kan law firm na yedi no ho nkomo won fi Lumba busuam nimu ne papa echi. It is a Lumba papa echi omo ye Fosu abusuafo no ena eji baba Jamai na associate to mu dia. Then we can boldly storm up and say they are lawyers representing the Fosu family. Again and again. Because Akosua Sewa Fosu, Mrs., has decided to choose the husband's name since they got married and have children with the legend who has been named by their father as Fosu. A family can have the Fosu family, a law firm can have the Fosu family, and we can easily know that the Fosu family is Akosua Sewa and the children of Daddy Lumba, even if not with the father's family members. If you are smart and you don't want to dilute your education, your level of sanity, and you want to just stay neutral like some of us, not being biased because somebody is calling you name, then let's be honest with ourselves. Based on these arrangements and conversation, the law firm that is representing the Fosu family, which family are they representing? This was my question. Because the locus to represent the family they are supposed to represent is not available. Unless otherwise it is proven to us that Odo Bronii is Mrs. Priscilla Fosu. But in all the narration I hear, there have not been any instance where she's been called Fosu. Please, if you know that Odo Bronii has been called Fosu anywhere in documentation, please tell me so I will change and come to that level. So the law firm Baba Jamai and Associates, the law firm that came up and finally formed and changed themselves from just being the Fosu family lawyer to become a lawyer speaking on behalf of the Abusuapanin conflict of interest, if you ask me. Okay. So when Abusuapanin and the family members, through Baba Jamal's firm, made it clear to the wife of the late Daddy Lumba that she is not a legitimate wife, then she took the case to court and said, those who are battling over my husband's body with me is Ejawusu, the family head, Priscilla, I've forgotten the second name, Odo Bronii, who happens to be the baby mama of my late children's father. My late husband has children with my late husband, baby mama. And then where my husband's body has been laid, the transition. Well, I'm hearing for the first time, because the response that came, whoever is writing, if you can make a request, come and let me ask you some few things, because the response that came, if today there's a change, because Makassas have been more than Mundia, then I stand to be corrected. But say when him did now, Mr. John Den, is it John Okafo or John Ibu? Abusuapanin has his own lawyer. His lawyer spoke today. You Abusuapanin, Miss, is it Miss Tin or Miss Zin? Miss Jane. So Miss Jean. Miss Jean, if you have detail, can you please, Miss Jean, can you please make a request and let me ask some few questions, because I don't know when Abusuapanin had a lawyer in court. So thank you very much. Thank you, my dear. Welcome, madam.
Good afternoon.
Madam, good afternoon. Will you want to speak English or Bakatri?
Oh, yeah,
But I say, Mammy Bacho, my own nipa, my oh, yeah. Say, okay, Busiano, who are reporter, and now you have a shot here for Libya, not then.
When I'm in a reporter. But me, not me follow, me, so I was surprised as to how Odo Bronii Abusuapanin was one lawyer. But about, the first about 2 hours ago, on Kojo TV, and then Gossips 24, call court, no. Or report to my one of the reporters, Bisa Judge in the back, which was not fighting, or Bisa say, and the judge said, the lawyer said, Odo Bronii lawyer, no one a penny lawyer, no, but yes, sir, a snow penny lawyer, no, and a snow Odo Bronii lawyer. That's what he said. But me, still, I have some doubts because so that lawyer that spoke on the channel is Kojo TV, and I'm also share with Gossip 24. The lawyer is claiming, say, lawyers back 6 no Odo Bronii and no money now no Mokasama Odo Bronii. Na ebinum kasama Abusuapanin. That is what he said. So I'm just a viewer. I should be just like Obia or Wofie should be a reporter. But that is what I heard 2 hours ago. Say be a lawyer ne cancer because of Encofo Bo Machin to the Concasa, they are mean to mention. But that is the video I saw. To patrol your worker.
Because me started car same way. Obi or follow me be over Kai me say I don't understand. Because Odo Bronii nyefusu. Abusuapanin nyefusu. Ena lawyer no akosu ase wa lawyer nso ko sue ye no. Okosiu wo friend dey. Odo Bronii Abusuapanin ena transition. Response e ba ye no. Men kind ye die. But I am saying the same law firm. Now that Ben Abusuapanin na lawyer.
That's that. I think, say maybe in Kofobo because this is the very first time all court proceedings now. This is the first time a lawyer say Odo Bronii lawyer and you're no one a Abusuapanin lawyer. So I don't know, say, and for go machino. Entering out of the 6 lawyers, maybe about who and him say, okay, man, I may Odo Bronii.
I want to know if the lawyer for Abusuapanin is different from Odo Bronii's lawyer. I really want to know.
That's what he claimed. Oh, yeah, I mean, such a DM,
because say no crepa say and lawyer for Frako Kasa Ama Ejawusua. Then I think Ghanaians owe me an apology and respect.
Yeah,
because me started can say I don't understand how on earth that a lawyer that claims it's for Fosu family lawyer, that the law firm Ejawusu said in an interview, said only lawyer phobia or only lawyer bia. He said it. All of a sudden they are in bed, and the letters they write across. So who was responding? Who responded to the request from the court? When the trauma across Fosu says empo onya di dimpo of funeral brochure mu under nyamia se so ni lumba wo ma. Was it not the law firm that wrote that letter? Yeah. And when they were writing, was it not the conversation from Abusuapanin? So when did the Abusuapanin had a lawyer?
That's like that idea, serious.
Because if as we speak, Baba Jama, if they say they are representing Odo Bronii, there's something fishy I don't understand. Odo Bronii is not a Fosu. And I'll be very, very disappointed if at the end of the day, the Baba Jama Associate is really a law firm that is representing DLFM. If they are supposed to be the corporate lawyers for DLFM and they are now representing Odo Bronii in court, then we are doomed. Because it's conflict of interest. Yes, they are from the same chambers, which is Baba Jama's law firm. Okay. So Nipan is what I confirm. He said that's what happened. Machoko.
It is a Friday, lawyer, judge, I declare, say, at my Kusha, my wife. It's a Abusuapanin, the way I was a penny, I got out of religion. Oh, but me, I still like I say, or Mudi Abusuapanin to still our Rosemary Kuna say. Because the way Abusuapanin actually is as you said, the ever copiano still no, my girl, Nayabu.
Debbie, as soon as we should know be slow. See the question, Mammy. And common I didn't say, I could just say for so request or quiet and say, oh, say me, court ye. Pabu ton Nakasame, and you could I until you call you. My motive thing, I say. I'm narrating the story to where people will know the reason for the suit.
Okay. So Muka says on the Dimbe Mukrano and
say that statement they have to come. Not just say in a way, no. I'm going to say only Lumba or Ma. Because Kratano Mutuan say Empo Nidimpo back. A year brochure no more. A favor be near the sun said only some quasia seven and so big san poucho. Hey, how do you open your mouth and say this? What a troy? Who wrote that nonsense?
Pia, it's Counsellor Lutterodt, and so a submissions are or the Abba the Lumba. Year and to ye anyone sends someone air coso, no, and no drama media, Ebusua air coso. Now, your head, may say, the Ebeco Fumbiano, your daughter, someone I will say, yes, someone a year papa. Feel free to say what you know, we are shaving the money of this into Aha, AJ gossips, meaning Eddie AJ, background.